All right, y'all. So now we are back to go over the notes for the judicial branch. And so last week we talked about the executive and the legislative branch. The executive branch enforces laws. What does the executive branch do? Enforces laws. The legislative branch creates laws. What does the legislative branch do? Creates laws. So now we're going to talk about the judicial branch. The judicial branch interprets laws. The judicial branch interprets laws. And what it means to interpret a law is to decide if the law is fair or unfair. And so if you are going through the judicial branch, they are determining whether a law is constitutional or unconstitutional. So we're going to start off with the national judicial branch. The federal judicial branch is made up of the Supreme Court and other national courts. The Supreme Court is responsible for determining whether or not national laws are constitutional or unconstitutional. So essentially, fair or unfair. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the United States government, and it is very rare that cases make it to the Supreme Court. If your case makes it to the Supreme Court, then that means that it's gone through a whole bunch of levels of state courts before it made it up to the Supreme Court. So that leads us to the state judicial branch. It also decides if laws are fair or unfair, but it's only going to decide that for state laws. So each state has its own judicial branch. Our state is made up of 3 levels. There are 43 district courts, 4 courts of appeal, and then there's the Louisiana Supreme Court. And so let's say you were going to court for something. The first level of court you would go to is a district court. And then let's say at district court, they couldn't make a decision on your case and they couldn't determine if it was fair or unfair. They're going to send your case to the 4 courts of appeal. And there, what it means to appeal your case means that they're just going to look over your case again and try to make a decision and come to a conclusion about your case. Let's say they don't decide that at the courts of appeal. Then your case is going to go to the Louisiana Supreme Court. And if it makes it there, it's made it pretty high. And so if they cannot make a decision at the Louisiana Supreme Court, then your case will go to the Supreme Court. But it takes a lot of steps to make it to the Supreme Court. And usually your case is going to be solved within the district court or the court of appeals. But overall, both the federal and the state judicial branch is determining whether laws are unconstitutional or constitutional. And to break that down, deciding if laws are fair or unfair. And so now you're going to scroll down. You're going to complete your check for understanding questions. And then after that, you will go down to do the sources. I love y'all so much. And if you have any questions, you know you can text me or call. I love you tons. Anything. Bye.